Good afternoon and welcome to Sportsline YXE. I am Linda Walker and I'm being joined, as you can hear in the background, by my heard but not seen co-hosts, Lefty Munster and Deanna, who are my two budgies, and they seem to like to take part in the show. Want to wish a happy second birthday to Archie, the oldest son of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, because I thought I heard somewhere that they are avid watchers of Sportsline YXE. So wanted to make sure I got that in there today. Saskatoon Blades now back home, dispersing back to their home cities after a tremendous and crazy WHL East Division schedule. And at least they got a chance to play. And I think that's what we all wanted, was some junior hockey out there. They finished with a 16-5-2-1 record, good for third place in the East Division hub. Now, Brandon captured the Subway Cup, but the Blades only finished 3 points back of Brandon and beat Brandon 3 out of 4 games. So I think the Subway Cup should be going to the Saskatoon Blades, and they just finished 2 points behind the Winnipeg Ice. So a tremendous, tremendous season for the guys. Today, I have the pleasure of Captain Chasw Wouters coming on the show, as well as General Manager Colin Priestner, and want to welcome both of you to the show today. And very happy that you could find a few minutes to come play with us today.
Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot
for having us.
Colin, Chase, actually, I want to start with you, and the most important question I wanted to get into some stuff with you about is, where are the best greasy burgers made in Saskatoon, and how many have you had since you came out of the bubble?
Yeah, I think the best burger in Saskatoon that I've had would have to go to Fuddruckers. So I know if you're from Saskatoon or even from Saskatchewan, for all that matters, I know you've definitely heard of Fuddruckers, and you've probably had it once or twice. But since being out, I actually haven't had it. It's it's a family favorite. Whenever my family heads into Saskatoon, we always stop there for a burger. But that's definitely the place in Saskatoon, I'd say.
Colin, have you had a chance to get in a few greasy burgers to join with the players since they were able to come back to Saskatoon?
Unfortunately for my health and my physique, I never stopped while they were in the bubble. I was indulging in the burgers on a regular basis, but I would second that. My daughter Paula, who's turning 3 next week, absolutely loves Fuddruckers, and she loved going before everything kind of got shut down there, and we stopped going so much. But I would second that. I would say they are the second best burger in Saskatoon.
Oh, you're saying second best. Okay.
I'm going to go with Congress. I think they have the best burger.
Okay.
Congress has the best burger.
Well, I may have to get together with the two of you. We may have to have like a burger eat-off or something at these two places and see what we can decide.
One.
Chase, we want to talk about the hockey and how things went in Regina, and I guess, as I said off the top there, you beat Brandon 3 out of 4 games. That has to be pretty special for you guys, and plus finishing in third place as well. That was a great finish for you guys coming into a season where nobody was really quite sure where you might be, in terms of the competition.
Yeah, going into the season, it was we were all kind of in uncharted waters there, kind of with staying in the dorms and things like that. But I think as a group, we kind of made the most of the situation we were in, and we took lots of time to do lots of team bonding and lots of hanging out with the roommates, with the teammates, and those go a long way, and they show on the ice. I mean, we were a really close knit family, and in Regina, and that was one of our values going in is being a family. So I think that's what kind of made us have a good year in Regina there. And yeah, I mean, we always had good games with Brandon, and we had the whole East Division was pretty competitive this year. If you look at it, a lot of teams at the bottom of the standings beat teams at the top of the standings, and that's just how it was for the season. And it was one to remember forever, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, a lot of the bottom teams beat the top, and I think David Trush got some satisfaction out of that final game against the Regina Pats, that they were finally able to take one from you. That's always a good rivalry, whether we talk about WHL or Canada West with football, hockey, basketball. I mean, it's there's always a real Saskatoon Regina thing, no matter what sports you're talking about there.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of always been a good rivalry since I came in 5 years ago, and I know whether it's in the Brand Center or whether it's in Sastel, both sides of the fans are always really into it, and especially against them. And I mean the whole Eastern Division's been a good rivalry, and it's lots of fun. I'll remember it forever.
3 years as captain. That is amazing. And, I don't know of any other sports, any other team outside, except for the professionals, where somebody has been a captain for 3 years, and that's really special. And I think says a lot about your leadership role and the respect that you have from all the players and the management, coaching staff, management, guys like Colin as well, Chase.
Yeah, no, thanks, Linda. I mean, it's been a really good opportunity in Saskatoon. I know I learned a lot in my first couple years there with really good 20-year-olds and lots of good coaching staff along the way, and management and my teammates. I mean, the teammates are what make a person who they are, and I think I've learned from them. And then even the first year I was captain there when I was 18, it was we had a really good team that year. We finished second in the East Division. Then we ended up losing to PA in the second round in a hard fought series. But there's a lot of credit that goes out to other people. Even whether it's teammates or whether it's people behind the scenes that don't get the credit, they deserve it too. So it's my time in Saskatoon is something I'll remember forever.
Colin, I want you to talk about Chase a little bit here as well, and sort of what you have seen in his development from coming in and becoming captain at 18, which is, that's something. Even at 18, to become captain of a major junior hockey team to where he is today right now as part of this franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to say there was some massive growth and evolution that Chase went through to get him to the point where what he got to. But honestly, if you would have met Chase at 15 or 14 and a half, like I did when I first drafted him, maybe he was a less polished version of what he is today in terms of refining his leadership skills and getting better and better as a leader every year. But I fully expected when we drafted him that he was going to be, the captain of the Blades at some point in his career. I didn't obviously know, or you never know that they're going to have a career as exceptional as his was. But I think he was fully capable of being the captain of our team as a 17-year-old too. So that's I think he was strongly in the discussion to be the captain at 17, actually, if I remember back. But and he would have been a 4-year captain, I guess. So he was the same kid he was when he was 15. I think he improved his leadership in terms of learning. And, I talked to Chase over the years, and I know Mitch and this coach has always worked as well with all of our leaders on, at first, when you're a leader, I think especially I came in as a young leader in this organization. You don't want to, you want everyone to like you. You want everybody to you don't want to have to, be the bearer of bad news to anybody. And I know Chase as a guy that, everybody on planet Earth likes Chase. And I think what he really improved on the most as a leader was from 18 to 20 was being able to take a player aside, even if they were older than him when he was 18, and say, hey, like I always told Chase, like, this isn't John, the player, I think you're a bad person, or you're a bad kid, or you're hurting our group, but this isn't how we don't do things here this way in Saskatoon. That's not the Saskatoon Blade way. And I know, you don't think it causes any problems for us, but I'm telling you as your peer and as a leader that it does. And I still like you. You're still a huge part of this group, but having that assertiveness and having that ability to be able to hold your teammates accountable, even if they're older than you. I think that's something that Chase really improved on over the years. And you start to realize, like, it's not personal, but I mean, I remember watching a documentary. I think I shared it with Chase and the whole team at one point. It was the Detroit Pistons, that Bad Boys documentary about their run, and how they overcame the Chicago Bulls and some of those big teams in the early 90s. And one of the things that the leadership on that team with Isaiah Thomas and I'm forgetting the name of the big Lambier.
Lambier, the guy.
He was an unbelievable leader, Lambier. But he said, and I always think about it for myself too, is like, they acquired some big name players from other teams to help in their run. And I remember he said one of the guys from the Knicks that they acquired was kind of like sitting like this in the dressing room all the time. And the first couple days, and Lambier just looked right at him and said, "Hey, that might fly at the New York Knicks, but the Detroit Pistons don't sit in their lockers like their lounge chairs. Sit up." And it was like the guy was talking about it 20 years later as something that was like, wow, that's something that no one else would have ever said to me. But it doesn't mean I don't like you. Why are you sitting like that? It's just like, that doesn't fly here in Saskatoon. And I think that's what has made our culture so strong over the last few years. Mitch has really been a key instrumental. Mitch Love instituting that culture, and Chase was the one that was bringing it forth every single day by example.
This year has been especially tough, obviously, with the pandemic. And I mean, WHL was going to open in the fall. Well, no, that was going to be December. Well, then it was going to be, I think, January or February. And then we finally were able to get things going in late March, early April here. And, that had to be a roller coaster ride that you wanted to get off of with all the uncertainty. But I think it also would suggest that you really needed to have a strong captain, again, even more so this season because of what the players were going to have to deal with. And Colin, I want to know, did you and Chase have a chance to sit down and chat about sort of what his role as captain, how it might change, or what he needed to be more cognizant of this year? And Chase, I don't know if you went to Colin for any advice as to how things were going to work to make sure that everybody could stay united as a team.
Well, I would firstly, with anybody else in a normal year probably would have, but knowing Chase, like, I knew he would have it down pat. And Mitch being with the group all day and Ryan every day really prepared them for that. And it wasn't even a thought of mine that I would have to call Chase to say, "Hey, here's some special circumstances." I mean, Chase always knows that he could have come to me and, if he had any questions about, how do I deal with this situation or how do I deal with that, just to get, my perspective on it. But Mitch as a leader has always been someone that can, handle those things on a day-to-day basis. And Chase was a guy that we didn't have to worry about what his messaging would be. Like, one of the best stories I heard about the whole bubble was the very last day of the bubble was Chase's last game. They were having a pregame meal, and and Chase was sitting with one of our healthy scratches who's 17 years old, and they were sitting together and just having a breakfast. And Chase, probably knowing that the kid was upset, he probably wasn't playing the last game of the year, and Chase was like, "Let's get to know each other a little better," even though Chase won't be back next year. And that's the kind of person Chase is. So I would never have to tell him, but I do think the leadership was more important than ever, being in a tight-knit group, because I think Chase could speak to it. But if you got a couple bad apples, or the leadership was kind of in a clique, I think that bubble would have gone sideways really quickly. There's just nowhere to hide.
Yeah, no, there really is. Chase, if I get you to jump in there, yeah.
Yeah, just to touch on what Colin said there, I mean, that you kind of hit the nail on the nose there, is kind of, if you had a couple guys kind of stray off and stray away from what the team goal was, it would kind of, it'd have a trickle down effect on the group. And I think, through Mitch and Ryan and, everyone involved up front, they, did a really good job of, putting us in the right direction. And I think as older veteran players on the team, we pass along the messages from the coaches, and that's kind of, that's what kind of kept us going throughout being in Regina and throughout the bubble.
Yeah, I know everybody was bringing television sets. Somebody had ping pong tables set up, and I don't know if that was you guys. I think it might have been Swift Current and somebody else. But yeah, everybody knew that, the video games, everything, you're not, this isn't a hotel. You guys got to be like university students and bring everything you want from home. So that, I'm sure that helped as well. I know, Chase, you talked earlier about, just everybody relaxing together, having a chance to take a break, get away from the hockey. And so that had to be a big help as well.
Yeah, it was a really good setup there in Regina. I know they did a great job of, having us in there for whatever it was, 60 days. But there was a lounge on one of the floors where we were able to, go as a team. There was a ping pong, a pool table, and there was a good TV. We hooked up our computers to it, watched some hockey games, and then, yeah, I mean, that made it a lot more enjoyable during the nights, because most of the times with the with the games being at 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock, if you weren't playing, you were back at the dorms at probably 1 in the afternoon at the latest, and you had the rest of the night to kind of hang out and just kind of bond as a group. And I think we, as a team, we did a lot of those things where we were able to hang out as a group. It was lots of fun.
So the biggest thing to come out of this season, I think, is, Colin, your announcement of retiring number 44. And you did a little differently than how those kind of announcements come. As Chase was doing an interview, which I think is pretty cool, that you had to do it. But it doesn't happen often where a player's number gets retired, and especially I think in major junior, you don't see strings and strings of names hanging from the rafters. And so I want both of you again to kind of talk about, Colin, I know you're going to talk about how special Chase has been to this organization, and Chase, what it means to you and your family to have this happen. I mean, I know it was probably the last thing in your mind that something like this would ever happen to you at the end of your junior career.
Yeah, no, exactly that. Yeah, it's pretty, it's a pretty special feeling. It's, there's a lot of works went in the last 5 years in Saskatoon, and even from my family perspective, just moving away at 16, and I had an awesome billet family in Saskatoon with Tim and Tina Gabrick. They brought me in and they made me feel like Saskatoon is a second home. And just it's crazy to look back and think that was 5 years ago I was moving to Saskatoon, and to think that someday the jersey is going to be retired, and it's a really special feeling. And I just I can't thank Colin and can't thank Mike his dad enough for bringing me into Saskatoon and kind of making me who I am as a player and as a person.
Colin, get your thoughts on Chase here.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've had a ton of people ask about the whole retirement thing and jersey retirement. And I mean, I can walk you through I was actually driving on the highway to Saskatoon during our final game, and watching the game kind of each period that would end, I'd watch it on my iPad on the side of the road, and then I'd start driving during intermissions. And I guess during the last period, it was just, I'd always kind of known that we were going to retire Chase's jersey. I hadn't really made I hadn't talked to a whole lot of people about it. I just thought no one's going to wear that number again. And just watching the last period, just feeling like it was tough not being there in the building. And I know his parents not being in the building and stuff. And I just felt like, the kind of game he had in that final game and just was so indicative of what he was as a leader, and what could have been perceived as a meaningless game with both teams kind of where they were in the standings, but Chase giving it his all in his final game, scoring a beautiful goal, great assist, and, standing up for his teammates, all those things that he did in that game. I just thought I hit the road, and I was just kind of thinking, I would love to be able to tell this kid in person how much he means to me and how much he meant to the Blades. So I just thought, hey, I guess I could talk to him on the Zoom and have a chance. So I quickly got the Zoom link, and I didn't even think it was going to be anything public. I thought it was just going to be something that I could talk to Chase about. But I know Lazarick didn't miss the opportunity to get on the air, and I know I didn't even think it was on the air, but I just kind of thought it was just a chance for me to kind of look Chase in the eyes, at least on video, and tell him that. And then my phone started blowing up on the drive home that people were tweeting about it and stuff. So it's pretty cool how it came out, because it was organic. It wasn't meant to be a big, press moment or anything. So, it was well deserved. I think, there's certain people that you draft that you hope are going to do something, great. And there's other people that you kind of know, and Chase is one of those that you kind of know. And there's much more, I think if he had gotten the games played that he would have gotten if the pandemic didn't hit, he certainly would have hit, I think, our all-time games played record as a player, and he would have been in the top 15 or 20 for points of all time. So there's every reason that he should be one of the 5 or 6 guys that's in the rafters, and can't wait for that night for him and his family in the future.
Well, hopefully come the fall, we'll have the WHL season start when it usually starts, and you can get at least some fans in. I don't know what things are going to look like. Canada West again is starting up, and they're not sure how they're going to work the fans in the stands. So I know lots of different leagues, lots of different sports are all working their way through this, CFL as well. So hopefully we can have some people there to watch this with Chase. And Chase, just one more question. I hope your mom's watching. Are you going to get your hair cut for that day?
Yeah, I'll probably. I don't know. Yeah, I've been talking to my parents lots, and they're kind of wanting me to get a cut. I know it's been over a year, so I just it's getting too long to the point. But yeah, I'll get a haircut here soon, and maybe look a little bit more addressing.
Chase, what's your future? I know we're going a little bit over here, and I appreciate your guys' patience with me. It's just wondering what's going to be your future plans in terms of hockey and being able to play, or do you want to get into coaching, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, for sure. No, I think it's kind of coming out of junior hockey. It's every kid's dream to play at the next level, and I think that's still my dream, is to get an opportunity to play at a professional level. And if that doesn't come forth, I'd love to go to school too, and get an education. You can still play hockey at school. So I'm kind of just playing the waiting game right now, and just kind of hoping something comes forward for myself.
Well, personally, I'm a Montreal Canadiens fan, and if I do Marc Bergevin, I'd be making a phone call and saying, hey, you might want to take a look at this guy, and it'd be great to see you wearing green and white of the Huskies as well, if that opportunity is what presents itself to you. So I'll throw a couple of plugs in right there for what good it might do you down the road. Colin is probably a bigger help to you than I am. So
Chase will have a lot of doors open just when he gets a foot in the door. I think that's all he's going to need, right?
I
when he gets
agree.
a foot in the door, I think he's going to be the kind of guy that an organization, once they invite him to a training camp, they're not going to want to send him home, whether it's whatever league that he fits in at that time of his career. But I think he's a captain at the professional level as well, and a guy that can not only contribute in all areas of the game, penalty killing, offensively, checking, but off the ice in terms of bringing other players along. And I do think when his career is over, that if he does want to be a coach, he would always have a home in Saskatoon to be a coach. He's the kind of guy that has the demeanor and the intellect and the kind of motivation and drive to be a great coach one day. And hopefully that's in 15, 20 years when his hockey career is winding down. And if it's not hockey, then he's the kind of guy we'd want in any business that we run or own, because you just want people like that around helping everybody else around them be better. And I think if you're a person in life that has that ability, there's not that many of them out there, then you got to do everything you can to keep those kind of people around.
Yeah, epitomize it's hard work pays off.
That's right.
And does open doors for you. Chase, I wish you the best of luck with your training over the summer, and I hope the doors that you would like to have open will give you an opportunity to show what you can do. And so certainly we look forward to following you, and hopefully have you back on once you know what's going on, so we can chat with you a little bit more if you're willing to put up with me as well. So
no, that would be awesome. It's been awesome getting to talk to you and come on the show. It's been awesome.
Oh, thank you so much, Colin. I'm looking forward to chatting with you again later in the summer when we have a better idea of what's going to happen here with next season, and who you're going to bring in, and who might be trying to fill those big skates that Chase is leaving here as captain. And I know you got a couple of other guys who graduate as well, Caden Daly and Wyatt McLeod as well. So I know you got a little bit of work ahead of you this summer to get some new puzzle pieces to fit in here. Yeah,
there's going to be several forwards we need to replace, and some leadership as well. That those are going to be fun things with the Euro draft coming up here, and some other things that we're going to have to do to be the kind of team we want to continue being. I think we've built something special the last 3 or 4 years, being a perennial, real good team, and we want to continue that tradition next year. So.
Well, terrific. Thank you both very much for coming on here today. Appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of your day, and best of luck.
Thanks, Linda.
All right. And again, thank you everybody for watching today. And the Canadiens and Leafs tonight. Go Habs, go. Take care. Have a great day, everyone.